kitchen. I am Miss Rhonda. I work for the York County Public Library System, and I'm thrilled that you chose to join me today. Today on the menu, 3 ingredient brownies. Now you might ask, why 3 ingredient brownies? Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Miss Rhonda is not a baker. Miss Rhonda is a cook. There is a difference. The difference is, as in, Mama Kitty? Yeah, we don't want the children to know kitties get on the counter. There is a difference between cooking and baking. Cooking is like your Lego blocks. Cooking, you can just keep adding a little here, adding a little there, spice it up, spice it down. You can experiment a little bit, and then you'll come up with something new every time. And I just wanted to show you Miss Rhonda's spice cabinet. Ta-da! You might as well go to the spice counter at the grocery store. So that's cooking. Baking is like a science. You usually have to do things exactly the way the recipe calls for, so you will get the results that you're looking for. So that means exact measures, that means exact amounts, and Miss Rhonda, sometimes she doesn't always measure exactly right. So 3 ingredient brownies, I think, is something that I can do with you today. I think we can get through it. And if we're lucky, we'll learn a little bit together. And if we're really lucky, we're going to have some fun together. So, what is the first thing we always do when we get in the kitchen? You wash these little guys. So come on and join me over here at the sink. Get a little soap. Wash the tops, wash the bottoms, in between. Wash them, scrub them, wash them, scrub them. Squeaky clean. I'm gonna rinse them off. Squeaky clean. There you go. Nice, clean cooking hands. I'm gonna get a nice clean dish towel to dry them off with. Now, 3 ingredient brownies. Since we only use 3 ingredients, we're gonna have to be careful to make sure that all 3 of those ingredients are quality materials, so they taste good. Let's start with our eggs. We need 3 eggs. I'm gonna move this camera down here. I'm gonna move these out of the way for right now. And I'm gonna take a seat so you can see me. So we've got our 3 eggs. And we've got our cooking bowl. Now, I have been told that you always break an egg into a separate container simply because you might get a bad egg and you don't want to ruin all the ingredients in your bowl. Well, all these years that I have been cooking, I've never got a bad egg, but I follow their rules. So I have a separate container, 1 egg, crack him into the bowl. He looks pretty good to me. Throw him in. Let's do 2 eggs. Toss him in. And we're going to do 3 eggs. Now, I always crack my eggs on the counter because occasionally you're going to get a little bit of shell. And it's easier to get shell if you crack it on the corner of a glass. If shell should happen to get into the egg, the easiest way to get it out is the shell will draw to itself, and you can put it right inside there. It'll just come right into it, and it'll be taken care of. Now, sometimes whenever you are baking, they ask you to separate eggs for one reason or another. Usually it's so that the recipe will be a little richer. You can do it by hand. There are contraptions, but I saw this funny little thing, and I thought we'd experiment together since baking is like a science. And we're just going to see. Now, we need the whole egg. This is just for fun. So you take your empty, clean water bottle, You crinkle him up, and you're going to put the mouthpiece right there on the egg yolk. And then you're going to release the bottle. Oh my word! Did you see that? It worked! You released the bottle and the egg yolk went right in. Awesome, cool. Well, that's just some fun little experiment that you can do whenever you're at home. If you ever have to separate eggs. Too neat. I'm glad we experienced that together. I'm surprised as you are, probably. Okay, eggs in the bowl. This goes in the trash. Now, I always like to take my eggs and give them a little stir. So that whenever we do incorporate our eggs into whatever we're baking, the yolks and the whites are completely dissolved together. And you have this nice little yellow mixture. See that? Looks just like beautiful sunshine. All right, so now we have 3 good eggs in a bowl. The next thing we're going to talk about, and let me move the camera back up. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is measuring, about how we want to measure things. Now, I bet your big persons, talking about our big person, you need to get your big person to go to the oven and preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Let Miss Rhonda get that done. Okay, the reason you want your oven preheated is because as soon as you're baking and you put it in the oven, you have to time it so it comes out exactly right. And if you don't have the oven to the right temperature, the baking doesn't start properly right from the beginning. So get your big person to do that for you. Preheat that oven. Measuring. All right, for years and years, Miss Rhonda just thought this was the measuring cup. This was it. This is what I used. I use this for dry things. I use this for wet things. Well, guess what? This is for wet things. That's why it's got the little spout on it, so it can easily pour things out. This is a wet measuring cup. This is what we consider dry measuring cups. And they usually come with a 1 cup measure, half, a third, and a fourth. So, our recipe now calls for 1 cup of flour. So we're going to use the dry measuring cup. We're going to get our flour container. Let's see if we can show you this. And we're going to spoon our flour into our dry measuring cup. Spoon, spoon, spoon. Mama Kitty must have got the idea because she's gone over to her kitty house. I would like to say that she does not get on my counters, and it's not right that she gets on my counters, but as you saw, she does. But I just try to clean it up. Okay, now, importantly, I've spooned all my flour in here, and we want to level it off. Our hands are clean, so we get a nice, even measure. 1 full cup of flour. And we're going to take that flour, and we're going to put it in the bowl. Nice and easy. Now, I would suggest at this point, stir that flour and those eggs together because this is quite the thick batter. And it's going to take some muscles once we get our final product in. And that is what makes it so yummy. That is going to be our chocolate hazelnut spread. And that will be our 3rd ingredient. All right, can you see here? You're getting it all mixed up. Scrape down the sides. Make sure that white turns into yellow. And it's all, big word, incorporated, which means mixed together. All right, I think that's good. Now, final ingredient. And remember I told you we had a little bit of science going on in baking, and I thought, well, part of science is maybe doing a little taste testing. So I've got you a little taste test prepared here. I'm going to try to protect the innocent, so I've covered up labels, but I wanted to show you that there are many different hazelnut spreads out there. Some of them are store brands, and then there's the one in particular that everybody seems to think that they need, that starts kind of like with a new sound. And so Miss Rhonda went and she bought several different ones, and they all had different prices, and I was going to show you what was my favorite. Surprise, surprise, the cheapest one was my favorite. This one cost $1.79, and it had a nice chocolatey taste. It was really smooth. I really liked it. The next one was 10 cents more, and it was very good, very chocolatey, but it just didn't please me quite as much, and it's a store brand too. The first one, it just might have come from one of your big box stores, just saying. Then the third one just might happen to be the most popular one, but it wasn't my favorite. It was good, but it was just a little too thick for me. So, and then my least favorite was this particular brand. And oh, by the way, our favorite one was the most expensive. It cost $3.64. This one would have cost almost that much, but I was able to get it on sale, and it was only $2.19. And this one was my least favorite. So there you go. Chocolate hazelnut taste test. And if you go and you buy the cheaper one and enjoy it just as much, well, then you can use the extra money to maybe go get some bubbles. All right, last ingredient. Moving the camera. One day Miss Rhonda will get a cameraman, but right now there just wasn't any available. Okay, final ingredient, the chocolate hazelnut spread. Now, I've already pre-measured it because it takes a little while to get it out of our containers and into our measuring cup. I showed you the wet measure and I showed you the dry measure. This is my handy dandy high-tech measurer. And my precious son gave these to me years ago. And they're just fabulous. You just take and go down to where you need. I've got it at 2 cups. And then fill it up. And then you take this plunger section and you, just plop it in. Woohoo! That's fun. Plop it in. All right, we needed 2 cups. We need also a half a cup. So here, let me move the camera. Let me show you how it goes in. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on. That's pretty ooey and totally gooey. Oh, all right. Now, this is where you gotta get your muscles going. Stir, 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 stir. And then when you think you're done stirring, oh my gracious me, you gotta stir some more and stir some more. Get all that yellow little bit, big word again, incorporated into the chocolate. And finally, we have our batter. I'm telling you what, I wish you had smell-o-vision because it smells really good. It smells chocolatey. It looks creamy. And see how thick it is? See how thick that is? I can't even get it to shake off. But it's all mixed up now. All right. Almost there. Almost ready. You need a 9 by 13 inch pan. You need some cooking spray. And you're going to spray this little fella all the way around. Make sure you get the corners, sweet peas. The corners are notorious for being sticky as far as not being able to come out. And then you'll need probably a little help from your big person. And you just take this batter, and you hopefully won't make as much noise as Miss Rhonda. You scoop it in there. Oh, Did you hear that ding, 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 ding? That means our oven is ready to go. And guess what? We're just about ready to go too. All right, I've got my bowl clean. I like to get out as much as I can. The more you get out, the more you eat. All right, he's in there. Just spread him out. Make sure you get all that batter, that good yummy batter, into all the corners. It takes a little bit of muscle, like I told you. But I believe in you. I know you can do it. And you know that when you're all done, you've got a great big wonderful treat to share. All right. He's in there. He's all spread out. Now, only because Miss Rhonda likes everything to look just a little bit really, 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 really yummy. This looks yummy, but it'll look a lot yummier with some sprinkles. So we're going to take our sprinkles and we're going to just spread them all over the top and make our 3-ingredient brownies look like $1,000,000. And there you go. All right, next thing, into the oven. And just by the magic of YouTube video, I already had one made. It's ready to go, and it's ready to test. So, we're going to cut a slice of that, and then I'm going to take a bite. But before we do that, I just want to remind you that our Summer Learning Challenge is taking place right now, only 10 hours, and you can do it through July 31st. So make sure that you are registered for that. If you have trouble, just give us a call at the library. I also wanted to show you that while we're closed, we still are getting brand new books into the library. That's like going shopping at the bookstore. This is a brand new, clean cookbook, and I've looked through it. It's fabulous. Chef Junior. And this one has quite a few different authors, but it's listed in the 641.5 area in the children's department. Just go to the card catalog, Evergreen. Just scan from newest to oldest books and get some of our new books that have been coming in. We want to check those out to you. If you have trouble, give us a call. We are there to help you. We miss you and we want to do all we can. And then I don't need to remind you of all the wonderful programming coming out right now with our special performers, with the YouTube channel. Just stay connected to the library, okay? Because we're here for you. We miss you. All right. Best part of baking is getting a slice. Let me get my slicer. I like to use something called a bench scraper. You kind of scoop things up with it, and it doesn't have a real sharp edge, so I don't have to worry about little fingers. So I'm going to slice into these. Ooh! Oh my goodness, they smell really good. I think we might be successful. Look at that. Yum. Oh, I'm going to split it open so you can see. See the inside? Yeah. All right, sweethearts. Slice yourself a piece of 3-ingredient brownie. Join me back in a couple weeks when Miss Rhonda's going to be cooking, not baking. Bye-bye. Oh, so good.